Welcome to Spotlight.
You are watching Spotlight, brought to you by the New Tang Dynasty TV and sponsored in part by the Asian American Chamber of Commerce. Our unique program casts a bright focus on topics, events, and issues relevant to Asian Americans in Virginia, Maryland, and the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. And who, you may ask, makes up the members of our Asian American communities?
สบายดีสื่อหน่อยสื่อนิเวศคอยคนลาวอเมริกา
I'm Andrew Patan, and I'm an Indian American.
My name is Dr. Stephen Ong. I'm a Chinese American.
Tôi là Nguyễn Quốc Hùng. Tôi là người Mỹ gốc Việt.
Ako si Mori Kayanan, isang Filipino-Americano.
For the next 30 minutes, join us as we discuss meaningful issues, events, and the topics as they relate to Asian Americans, their businesses, cultures, and the communities. I'm your host, Dong Shaw. Like a painting or a song, fashion design plays a main role in expressing the fusion of different cultures and influences. When East meets West in the fashion industry, the end result will always impress. In designer lines and stores alike, you can always find Eastern-inspired clothing like embroidered tunics, beaded necklines on dresses and shirts, or jeweled handbags in sari fabrics, all reminiscent of different characteristics from the East. On December 5th, 2012, the Asian American Chamber of Commerce hosted a unique event, Touch of Asia, an event designed to transport you to the Far East while including the best of the West, leaving you to marvel at all the wonderful fashions.
But also for organizing all these models here tonight. NTD Television, ENR Media, all for being here and for being our sponsors. Let's give our models another round of applause for volunteering their time and looking so beautiful here.
In addition to Western gowns and dresses, Touch of Asia presented dresses from Korea, Malaysia, China, Vietnam, India, Laos, the Philippines, Pakistan, Thailand, and Afghanistan. The dresses are absolutely stunning.
This is a very traditional dress that you would see in weddings or special events in the Philippines. It's mostly beaded around this area, so the function is right here, really, and then the sleeves are what come out. And right here with the beading is where it's very popular. So this mestiza dress, that's called, is very popular for its sleeves.
A lot of mirrors, so you could see that it has small mirrors. Usually it has bigger sleeves, and I made mine a little bit more fitted. Many years ago, they designed it with velvet. So I did a silk fabric this time. I have a traditional dance that we do. It's called the atan, and it's a dance in which we're actually in a circle and we clap. So the point of that is so that your skirt just kind of twirls around. So hence why the skirt is big.
Well, this is from Thailand. And it's a traditional wear, and it's something that they wear like during the weddings and whatnot. And I absolutely love it. It's very simple, actually. I know it's a little bit more intricate with the beading and the details and whatnot, but this is sort of what they're usually accustomed to.
Interestingly enough, many of these Asian dresses have a modern twist. Now, are you dressed in traditional Vietnamese fashion?
Well, it's actually a little bit of a modern twist. So the traditional Vietnamese áo dài would have a high collar. It would be a full-length arm sleeve, and the front wouldn't come all the way down to the bottom like mine is. This is modern because, of course, we don't have the collar. It's more of an off-shoulder dress.
It's from Korea. It's a traditional hanbok, and it is a newer version. So it's not as the traditional Korean hanboks. This is a younger version, so it's a bit more comfortable. It's a lot easier to put on, and there's a lot more decorations with it. So it's more of a party dress. The older ones are a bit more in terms of color, it's a bit more, they're brighter, but it's all solid colors. And then the top would be a different color, but it's like a different type of material, it's a different type of silk, and it's the way it's wrapped around is different. The top part, you'd also have to tie a really big bow, and there's a certain way to tie that. And these new dresses, you don't really have that bow problem.
Quite a few of the models are designers themselves. They designed the dresses they wore at Touch of Asia. Apurva was awarded a Fashion Designer of the Year in 2000.
Actually designed the dress myself, so the traditional Afghan dress is it's the same design, a little shorter with the pants, but I wanted to make a full-length gown, so I designed it for my brother's wedding.
I actually custom designed this dress and had it made here in Silver Spring, Maryland.
So you designed this dress by yourself?
Yes, I did. I had a vision in mind of how I wanted it to look.
As you can see, some of the models are beauty pageant winners. We had Samantha, Miss Migrant Heritage Philippines, Catherine Ho, Miss Vietnam DC 2012, and Mary David, Miss Wyoming United States 2012.
Now, I can tell you're almost like a professional model, right? Are you professional?
Well, I don't know. We're always learning.
But I know you win the title of Miss Wyoming this year.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Oh, it was an excellent experience. I am the current Miss Wyoming United States 2012, and I have a platform of combating and preventing human trafficking. And so I'm very passionate about human rights issues and competed at the national pageant for Miss Wyoming United States this year in the DC area.
The reason why I designed this dress to begin with was because of the Miss Vietnam DC 2012 pageant. So I wanted a dress that would stand out, but still hold true to what an ao dai dress really looks like. So with that, I made sure that I had a train, as you can see here, where it extends longer than the front. So it gives a little bit more flow when you walk by, but really the traditional ao dai dress doesn't have that length there. So this just gives a little bit more flair, a little bit more of a modern twist, but still, of course, holding true to the Vietnamese dress.
And I heard you are Miss Philippines.
Yes, I'm Miss Migrant Heritage Philippines.
So did you wear this when you win your title?
Yes, I did.
Really?
Yes.
You wear exactly this dress when you win your title?
Yes, and also I wore it to the 4th of July parade at Philadelphia.
Okay, so do you do modeling in this area often?
I do modeling and I do fashion shows and I do other pageants as well.
Growing up in a different culture while keeping your own heritage is quite challenging.
It has been very different to grow up in the United States than my cousins and my family in Bangalore and Sri Lanka, which are where most of my family is. Bangalore and Goa is actually where I was born, and I lived in Goa in India for a year before moving here. It's completely different in terms of what you wear and the food, and also the culture itself. People are, it's a lot more inviting, and I find so much wealth of greatness in both cultures, and I love growing up here, but also love going back to visit. It's crazy driving there. I've gone back and the roads are crowded, the traffic is crazy, but I love the traditional outfits. It's much warmer there.
Oh my gosh, only if I could just write down, actually I was telling someone, if I could just write down the stories about me moving to the US from England, they are absolutely hilarious. Actually, one of the funniest one is that every time I tried to drive to some place, I would invariably get out of my home, get into the car, put my purse on the next seat, and see no steering wheel in front of me. So I would sit in the passenger seat thinking I'm driving, and it took me a while to get used to the fact that the steering wheel is indeed on the right side, not on the left side.
You grew up in England. When you go back to India, how are you received? Do you feel the resonance of a culture in India, or does not resonance with you at all?
No, actually I'm treated as a foreigner, believe it or not. Even though I have the coloring, I'm not obviously too dark, but I do have some coloring from my mum. But I'm treated as a foreigner, and I can give you an example. I took my son to the museum, and the gentleman, he charged me 300 rupees, whereas he charged other people 30 rupees. And I asked him, why are you charging me 300 rupees? And he said, because you're a foreigner.
The Chinese traditional dress jacket appeared as early as 770 BC. Ancient poems describe it as long skirt with waist ties and big sleeves connected to shirt jacket. Since then, dynasty after dynasty for 2,000 years through the end of Ming Dynasty. Although the length and the width of the sleeves might vary, the basic style remained the same. As I said earlier, when East meets West, the end result is always impressive. I hope you like this episode of Spotlight. How can we end the program without talking with Janet An, the lady behind the Touch of Asia?
Now, tell us what prompts you to organize events such like this, Touch of Asia?
Well, Asian American Chamber of Commerce has 3 signature events, and we want to do something every quarter. So we want to stay with something of Asia. So we have a Taste of Asia for food, and then so we decided Touch of Asia, where we touch on every single Asian country and present it to our counterparts, I guess, in business, and let them know about our heritage. And a lot of Americans have not seen any of Korean dress or Indian dress or Pakistani dress. The dresses that you've seen here tonight, you can't see them anywhere. And tonight we were able to bring all those countries under one roof and really meet East meets the West. And I just want to give that flair, the touch of a little touch of Asia to everyone who came tonight.
Now, you are running, of course, a formal dress store. That's all Western dress.
That is all Western dress, yes.
All right. And where do you find those models from the Asian community?
Those models, actually, I just, I guess I posted on my Facebook. I said, I'm looking for models, and as long as they can walk and smile and dance, they qualify. And I don't look for models who are 5'11" and size 0. I look for people who are average, normal, so that people can relate. So I will always try to get people from 00 to W sizes, and I hope I was able to do that here tonight.
Touch of Asia will become the Asian American Chamber of Commerce's annual signature event, so to be continuously inspired by the wisdom of Eastern fashion and to take in the latest fashion insights, be sure not to miss it. Please tell us what you think about our show and let us know what you want to discuss on Spotlight. Are we doing a good job? We appreciate your feedback. Please write to us. You can write to us from anywhere in the world. The email address is spotlight@ntdtv.com. Thank you for watching. I'm Dong Xiong. I hope you'll join us next time.